Um, well, it is to the knowledge of everyone in the country today that there is so much suffering and hardship. And one of the aspects of this suffering and hardship is the hunger in the land. As a result of inflation, that is the rising cost of goods and services, food and foodstuffs have become unaffordable to the ordinary man.
where it is available.
Now, this is as a result of a number of factors. I don't think availability is a problem. The problem is the price, because there is nowhere in the country today you will not see food, only that you can afford it because of the price. And the problem stems from a number of factors. One is immediate and one is remote. The immediate one has to do with the consequences of the economic reforms. The value of the naira has gone down, and petroleum subsidy has been withdrawn. And this has a residual effect on the prices of goods in the market. And if you are going to look at it from all aspects, you can divide this into three as far as the supply chain of food is concerned. One is the farming, and second is the transportation of the farming products, and then the marketing. And in all aspects, we see that inflation has touched every facet of the agricultural profession. We are a developing country, and majority of our people are involved in agriculture. And it's unlike the mechanized nations where you have less than 5 to 6% of people involved in agriculture. And so, but what we are facing today is a direct result of what we done wrongly in the past or what we refuse to do. In a nation with almost about 900,000 square kilometers and a population of 220 million people, with rivers almost dissected across all the geopolitical zones, where you have a nation that has the land and the river, and they have food problem. Then you see the problem has to do with leadership over decades, where there is no serious and significant investment in agriculture for us to be able to address ourselves. I have listened to a recent statement made from the position of government that we are a poor country. I don't believe that. We are a nation richly endowed, well blessed with human and natural resources. But over the decades, we had leadership that are deficient in leadership as far as taking responsibility of this. If you go back in 1960, Nigeria's population was almost about, I think, 35 million to 40. Then 60 years after, we have about 220 million people. And we have enough land, we have water, we have everything that we need, everything that God needs to endow and bless a nation. We have been blessed. A nation like Saudi Arabia, they have oil and they don't have rivers. Nation of Israel, they have the know-how, but they don't have rivers, and their land is not as richly as we are. Many nations where we import food have seasonal disasters. In Thailand, in Vietnam, where all these rice are coming from, you see them having monsoon, having earthquake, having problem. Nigeria, we are blessed and protected from all these things. So we are having a food problem now, and the danger of food problem is that it has the capacity and the tendency of igniting a revolt. But I can understand reforms, because over the years we have been used to a certain lifestyle. $1.5 billion was used almost every quarterly to show off our naira, and we use trillions of naira to pay subsidy. And people, when they make comparison nowadays, they say, life was better under Buhari than now. But the fact is that we have only lived in a borrowed time. We live a false life at that very time. And no serious reform took place. That will, like this, as if you borrow to eat, you borrow to eat, you borrow from Musa, borrow from Ngozi, borrow from Abubakar, borrow from James, to eat. There will be a time to which there will be no money for you to borrow, and there's nobody ready to lend you money. So for us now, the proceeds of this reform supposed not to be shared to state governments. We need to say these are the issues we need to address. We now have this amount of money. Are we going to address the issue of infrastructure? Are we going to invest in agriculture? Are we going to invest in manufacturing? Something tangible. But where people are suffering, where there is so much hardship in the land, money is being shared to state. I don't see anything. They are still not being able to pay a salary. So when we have problems like this, we need to ask ourselves, where actually are we going? There's hunger in the land. People cannot afford even 2 square meals in a day. And wherever you go, you see families that were capable of addressing their issues. Now they couldn't. People can't pay the school fees of their children. They can't pay rent. Their rent. They can't transport themselves as they want. So a nation like ours is going this line. So the hunger in the land needs to be addressed in both short and long-term measures. I don't think that the process of this hardship, the money accrued, we just buy food and chill. The last time, 500 billion was shared to governors for them to buy palliatives and share. Then after that, what comes next? What effort have we made in agriculture to make sure that the next rainy season will be the beginning and the end of hunger in Nigeria? I think these are fundamental issues that we need to address in order to address the problems of hunger.